So you always hear me say the devil is in the details. It's those small little things that make your truck unique and enjoyable for you. Today we've got Hector's 1964 Chevy Pickup, and what we're going to be doing is taking off this bumper and putting on a 67 to 72. Why? Because it fits up a little bit closer. The curvature down here on the bottom matches the side of the bedside, and it's just going to be cool. I'm pretty damn sure, so stick around. We're going to find out. All right, so what I've done is I've unboxed my 67-72 rear bumper, and I'm just going to be using the protectant foam that came in there to protect my paint job. It's a really nice paint job Hector's got on here, so we got to double check, make sure everything's copacetic. Sometimes I'll put it on the vehicle, and I'll put it on the edge of the bumpers also, just to get extra protection. Now this here truck has been done not that long ago, and all the bolts are nice and easy to get to, and nothing's rusted up. But your truck may not be the same, so a couple of days ahead you're going to climb underneath, get a little bit of WD-40 or what have you up on your bolts and nuts, so it's going to be able to come out of there nice and easy. You're going to want to think about a couple of things too. For instance, if you've got the light going in your license plate, you're going to have to disconnect your wires, and over the years just a lot of weird wiring things go on, so double check and make sure what is in your way or not before you start pulling things out and ripping wires and having to do more work later on. So I'm going to get this set up a little bit more, and I'll be back with some more helpful handy hints for you so your bumper change goes nice and smooth. All right, so we got to be extra careful on this one because of the paint job. So what we're going to be doing whenever we're taking bumpers on and off, you always put your hand between the bumper and your paint job. I'll get one person on either side, then I'll take the bolts off so we don't have to do any damage at all. Old one's off, we're going to put our new one on, and this, like I said, is a 67-72 Chevy truck. GMC too, but we're going to be putting on our own exclusive rear license plate flush fit box right here. And what this does is, I'm not sure if you remember or not, but these boxes that hold on to the license plate, when they are original, they really stick down pretty far. So what we've done is just reconfigured this to fit up nice and neat so we can get our customization down to the last detail. You're going to want to get the 67-72 bumper brackets also, because of course they go with the bumper. And while you're at it, you might want to take a look at these little LED lights, and they're just going to go right onto the license plate and have the light shine down onto it. And these are just cool little things right here. It's a bolt and it's a light at the same time, so it's really nice. So we've taken the bumper and we've trial fitted it up here, and don't really like the way this exhaust is hanging down, so we're going to go ahead and cut that. You know, you're going to run into that kind of thing when you are working on your truck, so just expect it, and when it happens you won't be surprised. It's always going to be little modifications here and there. When I'm cutting this pipe off, what I'll do is just get some tape and just wrap it around. It just helps keep a nice straight line. Then we'll get some better looking tips. These are a bit basic. So let me cut these off and then I'll show you what comes next. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in first. Now a lot of times in the past you might have seen me put bumpers on, and I'd put the bumper on and then I'd slide this in together. But I'm going to do it opposite this time because it's a little bit tougher to do it that way, especially when you've got this kind of a clearance thing. So we're just going to put these on first. So I always like to make sure I got a washer on both sides of any nut and bolt situation. Just better for your paint, and it just holds on better. Also, don't forget to use your lock washer. So I'm just going to get these on here, and I'm not going to tighten them up. I need a little bit of movement, because when we put the bumper on, if this has a little bit of movement, it's easier to line up my holes. Then after I have my bumper on, then I'll do my side piece right here because it's a little bit too difficult to hold it up and get the bumper all at the same time. Now I'm actually just putting this one lower bolt in temporarily because when you put on your side piece support, it's going to go on this bolt hole right here. So we're just going to set this up for now so it's secure when we slide it on. So we've already had this on 2, 3, 4, 5 times and trial fitting things and such. It fits a little too close for my comfort. So what I'm going to be doing is just simply putting on some nice metal washers right here, and that's just going to give me the space that I need. You might want to tailor yours different ways. This is all part of the fun of dialing your truck exactly the way you want it, but it'll take you just a minute. Coming on back. All right, we've got this right where we liked it. We double checked on both sides, made sure it was even. So now that I've got all this set up, now I can go ahead and put this on. It's just going to be a little bit easier to do it after you get everything all set up. So I'll get this on, then I'll show you how to put in the tail light or the license plate thing. So next we're going to go ahead and put in our flush mounted license plate bracket holder here. And you'll notice that it just fits in like this. And you see it doesn't stick down, so it's nice and clean and concise, really the way they should have done it from the factory. I'm sure they'll call us up and tell us how good we did. Now what we're going to do to bolt it in is you've got these carriage bolts right here. So can you see that down there, how it's square? It's basically just like your bumper bolts, just smaller, that's all. So all you're going to do is just put this right up in there, and that's going to fit into the square receptacle hole right there. And these bolts right here, these nuts, I mean, they are crush nuts. So they crush them at the when they make them, and you don't have to put a lock washer on this or anything like that, although I might put a washer on there. So I'm going to get this started on, then I'll put the license plate on, and I'll show you how to do the lights. I really like the lights, so stay tuned. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put my license plates on with my cool little LED bolt lights. So now you'll notice it's got a black and red wire sticking off the back. Of course, that's going to be positive and negative. Now you can't wire these things off until you put them on. So you've got to put this in, then you've got to go ahead and install it on there. Then you go ahead and slip the nut over the wires and bolt it up, and then you can go ahead and do the electrical. So I'm not going to bore you with all the little bits of the electrical, but I do have an excellent video on doing a complete electrical job on a truck, and it's got a ton of helpful handy hints on there, and it'll tell you exactly how to do these kind of little small wiring things. So make sure you subscribe and check that out. I'll be back in a minute when I get done with this. So look at that, that is clean. It is subtle. It's not an in-your-face, obnoxious kind of upgrade. It looks like this is the bumper that should have come with it from the factory. I mean, look at on the edge right here. See how this curvature of the bumper and the curvature of the bedside match? So those little details that make your truck unique and yours, those are the things you're shooting for. I wasn't quite sure how this was going to work out. I thought it'd only take me about an hour. Ended up taking me about 3 or 4. It might take you a little while too. And this is for all your 63 to 66 trucks that you can do this to relatively easy using the 6772 bumper and the brackets. The 60 to 62, the frame is narrower, so you could do the same thing. You just have to fabricate up some bumper brackets. Not a big deal probably. But you can see we're all looking nice and sleek. It's really subtle. You know, it's not an abrasive kind of upgrade on this. And with this right here too, if you have a 67 to 72, if you don't have that, I would get that because you can see how nice and smooth that looks. If you had airbags and you were dragging, if that was sitting down lower, you'd be popping that on off. So you can see a little bit of details. When you were doing this, you might want to look into, you know, tail lights. They got LEDs now, aluminum casings, aluminum housings and things like that. So take a look at everything we've got to offer and get everything all at once so you can knock it all out at once. My name's David Welch. I'm here every Tuesday bolting stuff on, seeing what looks cool. You make sure you check us out on Facebook and Instagram because you should, and subscribe because you should. Next Tuesday, I'm going to be doing something cool. And if you miss it, man, I don't even know what to tell you.